Namaste, it's Renee, and welcome to my podcast, Peace, Love, Abundance. Today I'm going to talk about if there's one thing you could incorporate in your daily life from the Ayurvedic traditions that could really make a difference in your life and literally only take like 30 seconds of your day, and you can do it daily. You don't even have to call it Ayurveda if you don't want to call it Ayurveda, because really it is just basic hygiene, even oral hygiene. So tongue scraping, how amazing it can be. And I know I was skeptical, or just in my mind, wow, adding something else to my routine, or when you travel, something else I have to pack in my bathroom bag that I have to make sure I have with me and remember. But let me tell you, when I created a habit of doing it every morning is my favorite time of day to do it, because it is said that when you sleep all night, then the ama is the Ayurvedic term basically for kind of toxins in your body. When you sleep, your body's going through all these processes, even to regenerate new cells. It's cleansing, it's letting go of old cells and regenerating new cells. Anyway, so overnight, this buildup can build up on your tongue, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you wake up in the morning, you have a weird taste in your mouth, bad breath. It can even be dry and gummy. So why not take the opportunity to scrape that shit out? All that ama, the toxins from overnight. Scrape it out. Get rid of it. That is the best time. The worst thing to me, once I learned this principle, the worst thing you can do is wake up in the morning, drink something, and re-swallow everything your body worked so hard overnight to try and let go of, to make room for new cells and new health. And then you wake up in the morning and you drink a glass of water and swallow all that ama. I hope that even made you cringe for a second there, because when you really think about it in that manner, it really grosses you out. So when you start to realize this, then you want to scrape that shit out of there. So go ahead, scrape your tongue first thing in the morning. What I do is I wake up. Most of us upon rising need to go to the bathroom. Do you need to eliminate the bladder, maybe even the bowels if you're lucky first thing in the morning? Yes, I know. I'm a master herbalist and we talk about shit and poop and eliminating the bowels. So get over it if you're cringing even more right now. But I hope that, okay, if the thought of that every morning makes you cringe or gross out talking about it, then start adding all the ama that's collected on your tongue too. So what is collected on your tongue is also what has been collecting in your bladder and in your bowels overnight. So if you want to start thinking of it that way, think of it that way, because it's true. Your tongue, your respiratory and your mouth and your tongue is another channel of elimination. The main channels of elimination in our body are the bowels, bladder, respiratory, so that's your nose and your mouth, and then that includes your lungs and everything that goes with it. And then also the endocrine system, glands like sweating. But when you think about it, when you arise in the morning, your main goals are to pee and eliminate the urine that you've collected all night. Poop. Most of us pray and hope for a good poop in the morning before you start your day. And you need to add your tongue to this, because it is a form of elimination in your body. And the quickest way to get that off your tongue is to scrape it. Just like wiping your ass, right? You just need to scrape your tongue. I know I'm being very visual possibly here, but hopefully I can really get this point across to you, how beneficial this can be for your body to scrape your tongue every morning when you wake up. You can scrape your tongue more than once a day, just like brushing your teeth. You can brush your teeth more than once a day as well. But my go-to time is first thing in the morning. If I don't get around to doing it any other time of the day, it's always first thing in the morning, to the point where if I forget to, I worry all day whether people can smell my breath or that my tongue, people can actually see the coating. It becomes this feeling that you forgot to do something. Like if you're the type of person who's always worried about if you have food between your teeth, then adding tongue scraping to your routine will just be like putting the icing on the cake for you. or rather in this case, scraping the icing off the cake. And anyway, I can't stress enough how simple yet effective and how much our bodies need this daily. So if there's one thing you could do or add to your routine to help you be a little bit more healthier daily, some self-care, it would be to add tongue scraping to your routine. And then if you want to take it a little bit further, after you tongue scrape, you can brush your teeth or even do some oil pulling if you've heard of those theories. I'm sure you've heard of brushing your teeth, but the oil pulling, if you've heard of that, oil pull after you scrape. So if you've scraped and removed some of the ama, that coating on your tongue, then when you do oil pulling is going to be that much more effective as well. Now, here's something to consider before scraping your tongue. Take a look at your tongue, the color of it. This can even change daily, weekly, monthly, every 3 months. It depends on whatever you have going on in your body. But the coating can range from like a white frothy coating to even yellow, brown, could even just look dry and cracked. So even when you're scraping, if you don't feel like you're getting a lot of ama or scraping off of it, a lot of gunk off of it, then you could be dehydrated. So your tongue really can tell you a lot about the health of your body. A white, thick, frothy coating could be signs of even, you might notice this when you've been sick or you have allergies. It goes along with having to blow your nose a lot, all the mucus you can get out of your nose. So your tongue can have that extra mucus just as much as your sinuses, or if you're coughing up junk from your lungs, the phlegm. So your tongue is probably going to reflect that as well. So a thick, white, frothy coating is probably going to correlate with having a lot of heaviness in your body and mucus in other parts of your body. The yellowish color can be related to maybe a little excess heat in the body. So someone who has reflux or indigestion, that extra heat that you're feeling up in your chest, heartburn, it can be yellowish because it could be some excess bile from even your gallbladder or liver that is working its way up and out. Because remember, this is one of your eliminative channels. And if for some reason you're a little bit too much on the heat in your body, and it all can't get out of the bowels, then it's going to maybe possibly go both directions. Now, it may not be super extreme. You might just notice a slight yellow tinge. The slight yellow tinge would be good because then you kind of know that maybe something is going on in your body, but it's not as extreme as needing to remove your gallbladder or something like that, right? That's another reason why tongue scraping is amazing, because hopefully maybe you can tell a little bit what's going on with your body. And again, I covered a little bit about cracks or dryness. You could be dehydrated and need to get some more water or minerals, electrolytes in your body. And even the scalloping, some people along the edges of their tongue has what's called scalloping, the wavy edge. And that can be sometimes a sign of malabsorption or nutritional deficiency. So maybe you're the opposite of too much fire in your body. Your digestion is too low and you're not absorbing your nutrients. Now, these are just some nice guidelines. You can dive deeper into Ayurveda or even Google some tongue analysis on the internet. Chinese, the traditional Chinese medicine, they also get into tongue analysis. You can seek out professional help if you want someone to help you out with your tongue. But no joke, your tongue is super important to the health of your body. And tongue scraping, adding tongue scraping. I have noticed with tongue scraping that I don't get sick as often because, again, as my body overnight is trying to get rid of toxins or ama in my body, then my first thing in the morning, I'm scraping that shit out rather than swallowing it back into my body. I've noticed that if I do have some allergies or mucousy sinus issues, they generally clear up a little bit faster, or I feel better. I can wake up in the morning feeling really heavy and my sinuses being a little bit clogged up. But if I tongue scrape, then it also helps my sinuses let go of whatever they're holding on to. If there's one thing you could add to your daily routine that maybe you're not doing already, super simple, that's kind of Ayurveda, is you can just add one thing at a time to your daily routine. You don't have to all of a sudden overnight become somebody that you're not or that you never thought you might become, but rather you can just take one aspect of Ayurveda and add it to your routine. The thing that I love most about Ayurveda is not a fad diet. So if you don't follow Ayurveda 100% to the T, you will still get good results if you just add one or two things of your life from the Ayurvedic traditions. If you add one or two things to your life, you will make a difference in your life. And that's truly, seriously, I know I've said this more than once, but that truly is what is amazing to me about Ayurveda. And yoga. I talk all the time about how yoga and Ayurveda are the sister science of each other, and they're meant to be practiced together. So if you are a firm believer in getting the physical movement of your body and doing yoga for the benefits of yoga, then tongue scraping is going to be right along those lines of all the other benefits and changes you've made in your life to live a healthier routine. And it doesn't by all means mean that you only do it for 30 days or that you have to do it in conjunction with 10 other things or it's not going to work out right. You don't have to have the perfect amount of cabbage in your cabbage stew that you're going to eat every day. This is something you're just going to do because it's practical. It's part of oral hygiene. It's part of your eliminative channels, a way of removing toxins from your body. When your body is done with cells, we have cell turnover. Our body is constantly letting go of old cells and creating new cells. And this will help stimulate and possibly speed up that process to where you heal quicker. All right, so tongue scraping, if you look it up, there's going to be a lot of research out there on the different types of tongue scrapers. You can get a copper one, which is always highly recommended in Ayurveda because copper has other healing benefits to it. You can read up on it. But I find I have a stainless steel one. The stainless steel was a nice affordable price for me. It withstands traveling, living here in Hawaii, and sometimes there are some people out there who do not need the benefits of copper. So this way I'm not exposing my body to any excess copper. I'm just using stainless steel. It doesn't leave anything behind, but I can get my tongue scraping done. Some people use a spoon. If you want to start today and you don't have time to go to the store and get a tongue scraper, use a spoon. I'm not a big advocate of plastic in all forms and fashion. I know I have it in my house. If you come to my house, you'll see I do use plastic, but plastic honestly isn't the best for us or our planet, so I would resist using plastic. A toothbrush is not good enough either. A toothbrush is for brushing your teeth. A tongue scraper is for scraping your tongue. Do know there's a difference, and a tongue scraper is what you need for your tongue. When you do scrape your tongue, swipe at least 10. I'll admit it. In my mind, when I was told 10, I was like, well, then 20's got to be even better. So yes, I do. I scrape my tongue 20 times. More than 20, you probably could make your tongue a little bit too tender or sore. If you're more sensitive than me, 20, you might be thinking, how is she doing 20 swipes? So stick to 10. But minimum, I would say at least 10. If you're hypersensitive or your tongue is sore, you might only get 1 or 2 scrapes in. But that's a sign that you do need to take care of your tongue and the health of your tongue. And you'll notice your tongue changes. So even if you have a couple days where your tongue is sensitive, just do 1 or 2 swipes, and then hopefully your health changes around a little bit and your tongue gets a little bit healthier and more resilient and can tolerate more scraping. Just like anything else with yoga and Ayurveda, You need to listen to your body. Use your mind, use your head. Just because I'm giving you guidelines right now doesn't mean everything's 100%. Use your head. Be smart about anything you do or try, including tongue scraping. And do it with care. Listen to your body and do what feels right. If you need to back off, back off. If you can go deeper, go deeper. Keeping this, simple. Simple. And just do it every morning. When you get up to eliminate your bladder or your bowels, add your tongue to that. Bladder, bowels, tongue. Tongue, bladder, bowels, whatever you want to say. TBB, BBT, but add it to your routine. Think about it. Your mouth and your tongue is another form of elimination in your body. That is why we can have bad breath, or when you're sick, you might cough up phlegm, or even your nose when you have a runny nose, right? That's a form of elimination in your body. So add it to your routine of the bladder, bowels, and tongue. All right. Now, if I don't have you completely grossed out, then kudos to you that maybe you already know some of these things and how important it is to have this dialogue. It doesn't need to be taboo. This stuff is super important for all of us. So stop thinking it's taboo or disgusting or gross, which it is disgusting and gross, but stop thinking that you can't have this conversation or this dialogue or take care of your body by means of elimination. Because you will notice food tastes better, your digestion will be better, your overall health will be better by adding this one daily routine to your already existing routine. All right, that's all I have for you today. Of course, on my website, I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel with yoga videos on it. And I've even created a member portal to where you can learn more about daily routines, yoga, Ayurveda, 8 limbs, meditation. So please check out my website. And today I leave you with peace, love, abundance, and namaste.